any questions. If I go along too fast, please stop me and let me know, okay?
Only now she lodged this property today. She was supposed to lodge them together. Eventually, they've lodged now. After lying to me that they've lodged on Wednesday.
Who lied to you?
This bed.
Don't lie.
Yeah. She is actually.
Okay, so okay, so
You
so
see, but
guys,
I'm helping everybody. I'm helping, but she's not. Thank you very much.
These are checkers, Russ. I don't know what they like.
They don't just.
No, they are, man.
No, I mean.
Okay.
Oh, they, no. If we battle to hear anything, then we'll wait for the recording.
Yeah, you just let them know.
Very bad.
okay,
What do you think about Melissa?
What happened?
No, she's just funny because you remember I told you that because she's from Zimbabwe, she wanted to become a.
okay. I'm not too sure who's talking in the background, but I'm gonna continue anyways. Okay. All right, guys. Okay, I'm gonna log in very quickly. All right, guys. When you log into your guys' system,
I
first thing.
didn't see that document. I didn't see that document. I just saw it on their.
Okay. As soon as you guys log in, the first thing you will notice is the notice board itself. Okay. So any updates, any rundown that happens to the entire system that appears on the notice board. Let me give you an example what happens here, right? Let's just say this listing here. We want to find out the complete entire history of that listing itself. So what we can do here, I'm just gonna copy this listing reference number. You can go to advanced search here at the top. Now, the advanced search option gives you three facilities. You can search for periodically, you can search by the reference number or by the branches that you have on the system. Now, if you want to search for a reference number or for a specific listing, you can insert that reference number in here and click on search. If you do so, the system is going to filter out every bit of information that happened for that listing from the time of inception to the latest the current date. Now, for example, on January 11, 2018, I can click on more. It'll tell me exactly what update has been done by which agent himself. Again, on the same day as well, what was updated. Now, this is a good way to find out exactly what's happening on the listing and who made those changes. Now, what I suggest from here is that certain updates will not reflect things like if you want to see exactly who made an update to a user, you won't be able to see that. But we can tell you exactly who updated which user has been updated. Now, this is a good facility to use. Now, I know you guys opened up a new branch recently, which is the National Cloud branch. So if I click on that, I'm going to remove this out from here. And I click on National Cloud itself and search. It's going to bring up the entire whatever notices I have for that branch itself. So I see you guys have you added listings for that branch recently.
No,
No, you have not.
it's on the national.
On the national. Okay. So can you guys hear me? Because Robin, Yvonne, Elena, all on mute.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you quite loud and clear, but I think if you all be on mute, and then we can hear you probably, because I think all the background noise, it's been difficult for us to hear. So we all be on mute.
No
Ask questions.
No, I understand. Thanks. Yeah, a good way to filter out those kind of new notices. I'm just going to refresh this page very quickly. Is to click on all notices here. Now, this box at the top here, top right, basically gives you a breakdown of each type of filter notice that you have on the system. So if you want to see all the new listings that appeared on the system recently, you can click on new residential listings, and that information will only bring up all the new residential listings that you can see here. Now, it's a quite a lengthy notice board. If I click on more, you'll see it goes down up until whenever you guys started onto the system. One thing I want to let you guys know is that under all notices here, you can click on expiry notification here. I know when you guys load listings on the system, you'll put a start and end date for a mandate. Now, under expiry notification, it tells you exactly when that listing is going to expire. So if I do click on more on the first one, it's going to tell me This is a shared mandate which is due to expire in 30 days. This listing here is due to also expire in 30 days. So this is a good way to see exactly which listing you need to renew the mandate for. Now, what I know is that when it expires, that listing will remain active on your website and be removed off the property portals as well for you guys. So when you guys need to change that mandate date for listing, all you need to do is very simple. Come back to expiry notification and click on the actual reference number here. If you do that, it's going to open up that listing for you under edit, so you can see what's on the listing itself, and then be able to click on edit at the bottom or at the top and edit the specific listing. That's a quick and easy way to do it. Okay. What also of good intention here is things like let's have a look here. Do you guys do commercial listings?
Yes.
Yes. So these type of things are actually quite nice to use, commercial listing updates, and see exactly who made those updates. I know there's a permission on the system where if a user edits a listing, they can only edit the listing where they are the primary agent. So if somebody else edited that listing for you, again, click on more listing, and it'll tell you exactly who made that change to that listing. Okay. Right, on the right is the actual dashboard for you guys. So basically, the dashboard gives you globular figures of what's occurring currently on your system. So as you can see, it gives you the total number of branches, users, and documents. Now, this documents here is the number of documents, which is the file storage facility that saves to your system, which is not made public to anyone besides you guys. I will show you guys how to also add listings and download, add documents and download documents from there as well. Below now, we subcategorize each type of listing. So as you can see, residential for sale gives you full figures of what's happening for the entire of Momentum Realty. 691 that are active, 21 that it's under offer, 321 has been sold, and 26 listings are due to expire. Same can be done for residential to let. It gives you those figures. And it's very simple and straightforward to see exactly where you need to improve. Okay. Below now is basically more for the admin side. I think Robin knows about this, is the mailing list. So here the mailing list, I'm not too sure whether you have a newsletter with Propdata, but there is a newsletter that we do for you guys that gets sent out on the last Sunday of every month. Now that newsletter gets issued out to whoever is on that mailing list. Now, if you need to add people to the mailing list, I can show you guys how to do so. If you guys have one or two people that you need to add, it's very simple. But if you have a whole bunch, like hundreds or 200s, I can show you how to import that Excel file onto the system. Now, it's a good thing to have people onto the mailing list. It gives you much more exposure to your listing and to your entire company as a whole. All right. Um, Below is the active email alert subscribers. I'm sure you guys have seen this. When you go to the actual Momentum Realty website, I'm just going to go there very quickly. There is a section under tools that you guys should have, property email alerts. Now, if a visitor comes to your website, they can be able to fill in all the information here. They can say, I am a buyer. My closest branch is in Gauteng. I'm looking for properties that are for sale in whichever areas, right? Whoops. For example. And I can say I'm looking for apartments, and then put a price and price from into I'm not a robot and submit. Now, each time you load a listing or capture a new listing onto the system, which matches the criteria for this individual here, that individual will receive a property email alert. All right. So if you have a new client and looking for something specific, I suggest you can fill in the details for them, or you can guide them to this screen and let them fill out this email alert, so that when you load something, they will be notified straight away. Okay. Below is the actual lead system. I think this is one of the most important features of the system itself, the lead system. I want to give you an example. If I came to your website, I saw your listing, I filled out the inquiry form on the listing, that information gets stored onto the computer. And from there, an email will be issued out to you if you are the primary agent for that listing. On that email will be the guy's telephone number, email address, contact details, and what they're looking for. Now I can show you from that one inquiry how to build reputation with them and to match properties to what they want and send out an email to them of properties that matches to what they to their criteria. Now recently we've added a new feature to the lead system where we get property 24 leads to it. So if there's a lead that's been done on property 24, you'll get the email directly and that lead will be imported directly to your system, to your Propdata system. Likewise, the same will happen with private property as well, okay? And again, I can show you property matches and how to email them those property matches as well. Any questions before I move along? Nothing. Okay, perfect. Right. Thanks, guys. I'm not going to concentrate too much on branches or users. That's more for Robin's side. What I'm going to do is concentrate more on listings. Now, I'm aware you guys do commercial listings, residential listings as well. So I'm just going to go into residential listings very quickly. Right. So basically, when I come into residential listings, it gives me a summary of all the listings that are on the system. Now, as per each column here, it gives you the reference number. Now, the reference number is automatically generated by the system, the date it was captured, the status, which branch that listing is associated to, the agent, listing type for sale or to let, address, the price. Now, alerts here. Now it's showing us people who have subscribed to this email alerts, how many emails have been issued out for the property. So on this particular property here, we can see 62 emails have been issued out to clients who may have visited your website. So 62 people are aware that there's a new listing on your website, okay? Next to that is views. This views actually pertains only to your Momentum Realty website. If I go into your website and click onto your listing, this number will increment by 1. So it tells you exactly the number of people who are visiting that listing as well. Next to it, this is the leads, which is the number of inquiries you had on the listing. Now, a few here has 1. So you are able to click on this 1 because anything in a red texture is a hyperlink. So if I do click on 1, I'll be able to bring up that 1 lead which has come up. Okay. And later on, I will show you how to edit this lead as well. The last one is enable offers. I see you guys don't use it, so it's not really a problem. The last thing here is featured. You guys won't have access to this. This is more of an administrative thing here at the far right. On your website, I think you guys have. Let's have a look here quickly. I think you guys have about 6 featured listings that you can do here. Now, these 6 featured listings are actually selected by this row here, right to there. Sorry, by this column here, right at the end. Let me try and sort this out by featured, yes to no. So here we go. We'll have more than 6 selected. So what's actually happening here is that the system is taking everything which is ticked here and randomizing 6 listings onto the home page. Now, I'm not sure whether it should be like this, but what you can do is actually discuss this with Robin and decide which listing should be featured on the website. Okay. Now, if nothing is ticked, then the system is going to randomize between everyone's listing on the system. So each time you access the website, a fresh batch of 6 will always be featured on the website. Okay. All right. Any questions? No. Okay. Perfect. All right, guys. What I think from a agent point of view, there is a listing sheet you can do. This listing sheet you can issue out to your sellers. They can fill out the information, give it back to you. Or if you guys going on site or you have someone in the office, you can print out the listing sheet and write down all the relevant information. So here at the top, you can click on listing sheets. So I'm just going to open this for you guys very quickly. All right. So this is a listing sheet here. So it has your logo here on the left. So what you can do, like I said to you, give it to your seller, let them fill it out for you, and give it back to you, and then you guys can capture it back on the system, or you can fill out the information for yourself. Remember, you can print it and give it to the guys, or you can actually tick in the fields and type out whatever you need. All right, this is a good thing to use. I see a lot of people and a lot of agents actually use this. Now, the listing sheet is not only compromised to give you an empty or blank listing sheet. You can select one of your listings here and actually click on listing sheets. Now what will happen is that you'll have a listing sheet which is populated with the data of whatever you've done on that listing. So as you can see, it gives you relevant information. Right. Perfect. Right. Right. Okay, I'm sure you guys use the system a lot and you guys know how to use and capture listings in the system. Now, I know when you guys go and capture, you'll hover the mouse over add and it gives you two options. One is full listing and one is a website listing. Now, my point of view, the best way or best method to capture a listing is by doing it as a full listing. It may be longer, it is 6 steps. But what we have noticed is that the more information you fill out on listing, that listing is highly ranked a bit more in private property and P24. The website listing is nice. It gives you 2 steps, quick and easy, gives you all the necessary fields to publish a listing on all the portals. Now, you can capture the listing as a full listing and always edit the listing as a website listing as well, which is not a problem. That's very good as well. Or what you can do is you can add the listing as a website listing, and then later on you can edit the listing as a full listing and complete whatever necessary fields you need to fill in. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to add a new listing. I'm going to go into one of the existing listings. I'm just going to take this as an example. I'm going to go to edit, full listing. Now, as you can see, it's 6 steps here. You can click on any of these numbers and it will take you to those steps. Now, the first thing she's done is made it active here, which is good. You can change your listing to archived, sold, rented, or under offer, which is not a problem. Now, the next bit after that is listing details, listing type, but it's for to let or for sale. The branch which the listing is associated to, the agent, which is the primary agent, second agent, or third agent. You can put in this case, it's a rental listing, so you should put in the rental price. Now, I'm not too sure if you guys do POA, which means price on application. If you click on this here, the price will disappear. What will happen is that on the website, it'll would not display the website, but only display POA. I just want to let you guys know, if you do select POA, private property would not accept the listing because they don't accept POA listing. They require a price on the listing, okay? All right, now below here is the property details. Even though these two fields are not required, sorry man, it's to let you guys know, everything with a red indicator is a required field. Even though these two fields are not required, complex number, complex name, it's always nice to fill it in if it is a complex. Private property picks this up in the feed and actually ranks the listing higher if it's complex, which has the name and number in it. You can put in your street number, street name, which is always compulsory. You put in the province, area, suburb. Now, I just want to let you guys know, I know you've added some of the locations manually here, which is fine. I'm not too sure whether you guys have this option to add new here. There will be a facility to add new area, new suburb. If you click on add here, you are able to type in new area and new suburb. Now, if you guys make a spelling error, don't go and add the correct spelling. Leave the incorrect spelling as it is. Let us know. We will correct the spelling for you. All right. The next picture is property title, whether it's freehold, sectional, shared block, leasehold. A bit of advice for you guys. If you have a listing in a complex, or maybe you have multiple listings in a complex, you I implore you to put a complex number, complex name, street number, street name. In here, put in the property title as sectional title. And on the property type, put in the property type as sectional title as well. What will happen is this here, private property will then accept all the listings in the complex. Private property have an option, have an issue where you have just more than one property with the same address. It does not get listed on their website. They will reject the second listing. So if it's a complex, share the same address, then I implore you guys to put in sectional under property title, property type, as sectional title. Then the listing will feed through. Okay. Below here, you can mark the listing as tender, auction, and student accommodation. Now, even though these options here are not required fields, I always advise guys to fill this in. Measurement type, floor size, land size, and monthly rates. It will reflect on a property portal. Again, also the listing gets ranked a bit higher as well. Okay. Uh, I'm not sure. Do you guys do new developments or state listings?
Yes.
You'll do. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. There is an option here where you can capture new development. Right. Now, if you capture a new development here at the top, and let's just say you have like 10 houses in that residential development, which are all identical. You can capture this one listing for those 10 houses and then link it to that new development you've captured onto the system. What happens is that when someone is visiting your listing on the website, they will see the new development and see all the other properties linked to it. Likewise, on the new development, there is an option to link to residential listings as well. So if I'm going into the website and visiting your new development listing, I will then also see all the residential listings that are linked to it as well. Okay. So this is a good way to give exposure to the new development itself. You can do the same for estate listings as well. Maybe you have a retirement estate, capture one listing, capture a state listing, and link to the estate listing. Now, below here is property listing syndications. When you add a new listing, yes, hi.
Oh, sorry, my name is Reg. I just want to find out, under the new development listing or estate listing,
yes,
how do you put in a new development if it's not listed there?
Okay. All you need to do here is you go to listings and new development. So you just capture a new development here under new developments. I can go into it very quickly for you guys.
No, don't worry. I'm sure it's straightforward.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
that's fine. So when you capture the new development, it will appear under the list here. Okay. Right. When you add a new listings, all these boxes will be ticked for you, like private property, P24, Gumtree, Hosey, etc. Now, what I want to let you guys know, when you're adding the listing, I suggest you guys click on property 24 details. Okay. As you can see, this person, I've edited the listing, so it's fine. What I suggest you guys do, this first two fields here under property type and property description, leave it blank. The reason why I'm telling you leave it blank is because in the feed, property 24 will pick up the property type and descriptive type as per the listing you've captured here at the top. Okay, so leave those two blank. What is required for P24 is the property location. So you'll need to say whether it's KwaZulu-Natal, you need to say which area in there, right? Now, if a location doesn't exist the way you know it to exist, from what you've captured at the top, what I suggest you do is go to Google and type that location. Or what we usually do at Propdata is that if a location doesn't match the way we want it to match, just going to close this, we usually open up a new tab here, Control T, and for example, we type in Westville. We'll type in Westville, property 24. We'll do that. So what we'll do is go into the actual property 24 listing for Westville, and we see exactly how they have it on their website. So if I go to the website and they have it as Ethel Heights, Westville, that is the way I'll take it, come back into the system and go to property 24 details and capture it in the section here. That's what I would do. Because what happens is that if you put in the location, like you may know it as Westville, and then P24 may know it as Ethel Westville, then what happens is that P24 will reject the listing based on the location. So this method which I've shown you, it's actually quite a much more efficient way to get the district and the area as well. Okay. Once you're done, just click on done here at the top. Now I want you guys just to notice that if you've published a physical address for either private property P24, they will rank the listing higher. Okay. This published featured notes, just bear this in mind. I'm just going to get to that just now. Private property 24 mandate expiry date. If you put in a date in here, then on that date, that listing will be removed of property 24. Now, if you leave this field blank, the system will default it to 120 days. Okay. So after 120 days have elapsed, it will be removed for you automatically. Private property don't have such a unique one like this. Yeah, they require it to be after so many months. Okay. Now, actually, this listing is going to go away soon. Cozy Homes have closed and merged with private property. The only two free portals that are now in South Africa is TPN and Emo Africa here. Okay. So we sooner or later we are going to be updating the system for you. Now, if you guys are happy with the listing, you can click on next step. It'll save the listing for you and take you to the second step. Now, I'm not going to save this. I'm just going to go to step number 2. Right. Publish featured notes. I just want to show you guys what that actually means. If I type in a note here under area of our property features, that note will be published to Property 24 directly. Okay. So you can put in like the first room has an aircon, the other 2 rooms have the fan on it, and that information will be fed through to Property 24. Now, everything here which is required is mainly for the websites and for the property portals. So like private property in P24, they require dining room, lounge, studies. They may require garages, carports, flatlets, and domestic accommodation. So those are required for those property portals as well. Everything else is just for your website, okay? Now this is a very straightforward screen, so I'm not going to really go in depth with it. And then you can go to the next step here at the bottom. Take a shortcut. Step number 3. Majority of step number 3 will never reflect on the website or any of the property portals. Now, what will reflect on the property portals is things like monthly levies and pets allowed. Everything else is very subjective information. So whether you want to fill it or not, it's up to you. But I always suggest fill it in. It's always nice for you guys to have one place where everything is kept. Viewing contact person as well will not display. Lease period, availability, deposits, annual escalation, those type of things will display on the website. Private property P24 will also pick this up in the feed as well. Seller landlord details will never ever reflect on the website, so it's fine. You can fill in those details. But if you don't have the seller landlord details, simply put in your name, your last name, your cell phone number. It's also fine. Okay. Current tenant details is fine. Will also not display. Mandate details. This is where you can select the listing mandate type, where it's open, shared, company listing, or due to expire. And like I told you before, you put in the start and end dates, and on the notice board you can say exactly when the expiry notification is going to happen for the listing. Below here is open hour. I know most of the guys don't use this, so you can ignore it. Bond details you can fill in should you want to, and then next step. Step number 4, as you guys know, will always reflect on the website. Now let me just get in there first. Okay, step 4, the first bit is the map itself. So if you did put in a physical address in step 1, it will map to the location. Now, if it's not mapping the way you want it, you can just type in the address, and from the Google search results, you can select your address. Okay. Now you can map it to the suburb, which is fine. If you map it to the suburb, then the street view map on your Momentum Realty website will never display. If you map it to the address, then the street view map on the website will display. There's just a nice handy tip for you guys, okay? Below now is website display. If this box is not ticked, the listing will never ever display on the website or any of the property portals. So always ensure that this box is ticked. One example why you may not want that box ticked is that maybe you've captured the listing, but some of the details are incomplete. So what I suggest you guys do, leave the status of the listing as active, and the website display box, simply untick it. So when you guys are ready, fill in all the information, just simply tick that box, save the listing, and the listing will be published on all the websites. Okay. The next field here is web reference number. You can fill in your own reference number. It's fine. It's not a problem. But if you leave the field blank, which I suggest you do, the system will generate the next number in the sequence. You put in a marketing heading. That marketing heading will display on will display on your website and Property 24. Private property does not display the marketing heading, just for you guys to know. Below that is the description, a minimum of 140 characters, but you can enter as much as you want, okay? So you can make that larger and enter as much as you want. Now, I want to let you guys know on this field, please try not to use any special characters. Things like the at sign, percentages. So if you have things like say meters squared, then what I suggest to do instead of putting meters with the two at the top, rather just type SQM square meters. Okay, it's the same thing. Use something alternative. Below on show details, if you tick this box, you can put in directions, make it every Saturday and Sunday, or put in a specific date and time. Now, private property and P24 don't recognize these two fields, so you'll need to put in a specific date and time there, okay? Should you want them to display. FMB Quick Sell, I've seen someone use this before in Momentum Realty, FMB Quick Sell. You can select whether it's open or sold and put in your reference number for that. Now, if you do select that option and you put in the reference number, the listing will not feed to private property. They don't accept FMB Quick Sell. So what I suggest you do is leave that blank, and if you have FMB Quick Sell details, just type it in the description. That's not a problem. Bank property, you guys are not going to use. You can associate it to a bank. External link. What is nice about this feature here, external link? Maybe you guys can use it. Let's just say you have, as an example, let's just say you have a holiday listing on Momentum Realty. So you capture listing as it is. And let's just say your bookings is on another side. Maybe I can't remember the name of the site, night something it's called. You can type in bookings and then put in the link for that booking site, like www.propdata.net. What happens now is that there will be a button on the actual listing that states bookings, and when you click on it, it'll open up that booking site for you automatically. So you can use it in that kind of sense. Or maybe you have like an application form on another website. You can say application form and put in the link for the application form. The same thing. Okay. So it's actually quite nice and useful to use. If you're happy with everything on step number 4, you can go to step 5 here. All right. Step 5 is where you can actually load the listing images. Now, this is very straightforward. Click on add images here. Now you can choose one by one and group everything all at once and upload everything. Now it will not be in the arrangement that you may want it to be. Like in this sense here, maybe I want this picture to be the second image. So I can take that, click and drag it and just chuck it in there and do whatever I want. But once I rearrange the image order, please ensure that you click on save image order here at the bottom. Okay. Now that order will be saved and be fed through all the property portals. You can also put a caption for that image. The caption will appear on your website and will appear on Property24 as well. All right. Below now is floor plan images. Now the floor plan images process is same as above. Okay, so that's not a problem. The same features. What I want to let you guys know, please ensure it's in JPG format images. And as it says here, no smaller than that size here. The reason why is because if it's that size or higher, it's better for you guys. The larger the images, the better for you guys. P24 and private property will display the images correctly for you guys. Now, private property, you need at least one image, a minimum of one photo on the property. Property 24 is a bit different. Property 24, we allow you to enter or upload a lot of images as much as you want. The problem with Property 24 is that if a listing exceeds 60 megs, they will reject the listing. So what we usually tell the guys to do, either go in, reduce the quality or sizes of the images, or delete all the images which are very identical or similar to each other. So, but they have a mainstay of if you 60 megs and over, we're not going to take the listing. That's as per their choice. We can't do anything about that. Now, below that, you can upload YouTube videos or virtual tours. Now, how does this work? If I go to, open up the tab again. If I go to youtube.com, all right, I have my video on YouTube. What I can do here is call up any of the videos. Just gonna pause that now. Right, so whoops. So what happens here is that the system is asking you for YouTube ID. But when I go to YouTube, it gives me a link at the top. Right, so after the V equals to is the actual ID for the video. So you can copy that, come back to the system and paste it in that field. And there will be a tab on the actual listing to view the video. Now the virtual tour box, what it requires is the entire URL to be pasted in here. So you need to type the entire link. Matterport ID, something new to the market at the moment. It's a 3D virtual tour with Matterport. Excuse me. We are going to be enabling this soon. It'll be active for P24 as well. Okay, so it gives you like Matterport, some 3D rendering virtual tour kind of thing. Below, you can also upload documents to the actual listing. Now, if you upload documents, these documents are made available to download off the listing itself. So you can be able to click on browse to your file, PDF, Word document, whatever it is. Click on it, upload it, put a name for it, and add the documents. And like I said to you, it'll be made available for a person to download off the website. So you have the floor plans in PDF, upload the PDF file. If you have an application form, lease agreements, or even like things like a development or a state listing, upload a document. Even if you have the rules for that current estate or development or for the property, put them in here so the person can see that. The QR code, not many people use this. Basically, you can download this and give it to the guys, and what happens is that they can scan it on their mobile device and it'll take them directly to the listing on the website. Now, if you're happy with the listing, you click on done here, okay, at the bottom. Now, I'm not going to do that. We have another feature called view buyers and tenant matches. I'm not going to click on this yet. I want to go back to the summary of the listing first, because otherwise I'm going to save the listing, which I don't want to do. So I'm just going to go back to the listing. I'm going to go edit it as a full listing again. And that view tenant buyer matches at step number 6. So if I click on step number 6, it's now telling me exactly all the leads that matches this property, what they're looking for. So Boosie, SK, Kanye, Marlene, Raja, Mariette, Monique, and all these people are looking for a property which is similar to this. So I can take that person's details, I can click on their name. I can see whatever property other property is looking for. So these are the properties which matches what they're looking for here. Okay, so this is a good way to see exactly what buyers or sellers are looking for, a similar type of properties, and by clicking on their names, it brings up other property matches that they might be interested in on as well. Okay, now I will be getting into the lead system, so I'm just going to finish up the listing section first. Okay, so this is a good way to see it. Let's go back here, summary. All right, any questions?
It's Yvonne here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thanks.
Yvonne from Pietermaritzburg. You keep referring to Prop 24. We are not on Prop 24.
Are you guys not on Prop 24?
No.
I'm sure the National Cloud branch was feeding through to Prop 24.
No, the other people, are they not on either? Because we are not on.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would
Not a preference.
Can I interrupt there?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, we definitely are. When you do your listing, you'll get the option to list it under property 24 and private property, etc. You need to click on that when you do your listing.
Let me just check that for you guys, right?
Yeah, I'd like you to check because I've actually queried this and I understand that we are not covered with Prop 24. We have to personally join it ourselves if we want to do it. It's not an option.
Yeah, it's just the National Cloud branch that has syndication of Prop 24, as I can see here. If you require syndication of P24, have a word with Robin. And if you guys decide on that, you can speak to Prop 24 directly. And once you guys have that set up, they will send us a setup to have it implemented on the system.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Rihanna, it's Reg again.
Yes, Reg.
Sorry, I understand. I wasn't sure that she was talking about sales. Sales we can't do on property 24. And that's what
What sales?
residential sales.
These are residential sales. So I see National Cloud here.
On property 24?
On property 24, okay.
I'm just taking what the office is telling me.
No, that doesn't make sense because I can see here that that's a for sale listing, National Cloud. So if I put a tick on the listing and I click on feed logs here at the top, it should tell me something. Let's see. Listing updated to private property. So you guys are not doing for sale listings to P24. Is that what
that seems to be the case.
Correct. Yes. And it's actually quite an issue in Pietermaritzburg. We it gets a lot relied on with the other agents. That's our deficit here. We don't have the facility to pay for it ourselves.
Okay, I understand. So you have a contract with, so basically the National Cloud office has a contract with P24 only for rental listings, which makes sense. All right. Okay, perfect. See, when you capture listings, the P24 box is going to be ticked for you guys anyway. So for the National Cloud branch anyway. But when you capture a listing Vaughan and Pietermaritzburg, then the P24 box will not be ticked. So that
no, it won't be. It won't go through. No.
Yeah, that should be fine there. I think speak to Robin about syndication of P24. She can advise. So I'm not too sure exactly what happened.
Yes, we actually would like a Prop 24 in Pietermaritzburg because we're actually losing a lot of business. But anyway, we'll take it up with Robin in any event.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your response.
No problem. Thank you. From this, yes, hi. Hi, Sean.
Hi, speaking to Ashley. I have a question in regards to listing.
Yes.
Does the management system have a feature to share to social media? Like, for example, if you did a listing and you completed it, is there any way to share to social media straight?
Yes, there is. Let me have a look. Let me have a look if you guys have syndication to Facebook first. I think you guys do. Give me a few seconds. So let's check that out. I'm sure you guys are having a syndication feed here. So let's check something. Yeah, Facebook. Okay. Okay, so what's happening currently is that display on branch, not active. Okay, that's fine. Fine. First, third. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so the branch Cape Town, Gauteng, National Cloud, Amstranga Rocks. Those 4 branches are feeding to Facebook. So when you guys capture a new listing, or even load a news article onto the system, that will feed to Facebook automatically, to the Momentum Realty Facebook page for you guys automatically.
Sorry, I'm not getting you. Are you trying to say that each branch has their own Facebook account?
No, what I'm saying to you is that each branch can have that, but what I'm saying to you is that as an entirety, we added one Facebook identity for all the branches. So if any of the branches capture a new listing, that will go directly to the Momentum Realty Facebook page.
Okay.
Directly.
I'm actually asking for like a shorter method because I believe each office is run and independently owned. So we have our own methods of marketing on social media as well. So like what I want to find out, does the management system has a shared tool to our own personal pages that we created?
Okay, if you added a listing onto the system and you go into the actual listing itself, you can't do it from the system here itself. But however, there is a facility where you can share listings from here. Facebook. And then put in your login details and share that Facebook listing to Facebook. Okay. And you can also share it to Twitter itself.
No, I fully understand this front end of the system, but in the back end of the system, I was trying to figure out, does it have, just to share straight to Facebook?
No, and unfortunately, there isn't an individual sharing tool on the management system to share the Facebook. I think the guy is actually going to redevelop the Facebook feed because I know this is a question that came up a lot of times. but they're actually looking into it. There is a new thing with Facebook at the moment called Facebook Marketplace. So they use the same facility as we're using now, but we're going to try and redevelop it based on that marketplace. And then from there, hopefully, possibly in the soon, you can select which listing feed to Facebook instead, rather than everything
Okay.
else.
That's cool. I understand.
Yeah. But unfortunately, you don't have a share from the back end itself, unfortunately.
Yeah, I thought so. It had.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Thanks,
Okay.
man. No
Thanks.
problem. What's actually nice for you guys to actually use as a whole, maybe, is to see all your listings, is under reports here. You can click on reports. Now I'm just going to fill in all the required stuff. You can choose all your active listings, all your listing types, all branches, select a specific agent should you want to, select all property types, suburb. Now you can further define what reports or what you want to be displayed or what listings to come out on the report and generate the PDF file. And let me just open that for you guys. It basically gives you a one-liner report of the information of your listing, the address, and the features for that property. So I just done one agent, but she only has like 4 listings. So it gives you a detailed report of exactly for each type of listing you have. Now, this is a good listing to have if you want something quick and easy. Maybe you want something a bit more. So you can click on Generate Excel Report here. And now you are able to choose what columns you want to display on the actual Excel report. So you can choose the things like web reference number, the agent's name. Maybe you want to see all the listings that have a YouTube video and do not have a YouTube video. So you click on YouTube ID. Also, possibly you want to see all the listings that are furnished and not furnished. So we give you the option here at the bottom. You click on furnished. Anything you want, click on it, and then click on generate at the bottom. It will generate an Excel file for you, with all those columns that you have selected as well. So that's a good way to notice these kind of things. Because I've had queries where guys phone me and ask me, I want to see all the listings that are furnished and not furnished. So I told them, you know what, go to reports, select your listing, select furnished here, and generate the report. And the Excel report will give you the information that you require. Maybe you want to see all the listings with all the private property and P24 reference numbers on them. What you can do is click on export here and then put in your email address and then click on OK. Once that's done, an email will be issued to you with a link on it. You can click on the link. It's the Excel file link, which is downloadable. And on that link, we'll give you all the information for the listing, including the P24 reference numbers and private property reference numbers for the listing, and tell you exactly where it's feeding to as well. Okay? So that's also a good way to get a report. You can also do brochures from the back end as well. So if you put a tick on any of the listings and click on brochures here, it takes the listing agent that you have on the listing currently, but you can change it to whoever you want to change it. It's not a problem. Now we give you 2 standard brochures. One is a property one is a property brochure, and one is a window display brochure. Those are 2 standard ones. So if I generate this, let me have a look. Gives you a nice layout of the property, Momentum Realty at the top, the images. She only has 1 image on this property, but she had more. The other images will display at the bottom. The information for the listing and the relevant contact numbers. Now, that's the brochure from here. Now, the actual brochure from the website is a bit different. This is more of a client kind of thing. So if you click on PDF here, what's going to happen here, it gives you more of a personalized feel. So if you had an image on your profile, it'll display your image here and property and images below that. So this is actually quite nice. Okay. What's also nice is that you can print this out, give it to the guys, not a problem. What I suggest you guys do is actually click on email here. So you put in your name, your email, the descriptions, details, the numbers, and submit that. And then what happens is that when that person opens up their email, they will see the listing in like a newsletter format. Okay. So that's also a good way to share the listing as well via email. Any questions? You guys are fine. Okay, perfect. I wanted to show you guys this feed logs here, but I'm not gonna do this one here. What I'm gonna do is show you the feeds button here at the top right. Now I'm just gonna click on that. I'm gonna select. Let me just select National Cloud as an example. I'm gonna select all the active listings. I'm gonna select all listing types. I'm gonna select National Cloud because it's the most common one. And I'm gonna select all agents, but you can do it for specific agent. Is also not a problem. And search. Now what happens here is that it'll bring up all the listings for the branches. Tell me the website, Momentum Realty, Property 24, and Private Property. And also, you guys, if you have Gumtree, it'll give you Gumtree as well. Now, I see you guys don't have a Gumtree feed, or do you all have a Gumtree feed? No, you
I
don't.
think we do, Rian, but it's
Let me
not,
see. It's here.
I don't know, it doesn't always accept it for some reason.
I think there was an issue before. One of the branches, I think this branch is not feeding through for some reason. I can't remember the actual issue. I know I emailed I think I emailed Robin about this. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But I'll speak to her about this. Now, under this section here, it's telling you now where everything has a tick under Propdata means it's fed through your website. Now, I see one that has a cross on it. If I hover the mouse over the X, it tells me not set to display on website. So there's a reason why Firma Bota probably did not want this to reflect on the website. So if I click on the actual listing here, which I can, I click on it, she can be able to go into the listing and then tick that box website display. And then it will display on the website. So for some reason, she left that display not checked. Okay, the same applies for each of this. So I can see if I click on the actual tick, it's fed through on that day. Yes, it fed through on that day to private property. And what I can do is actually click on that tick and it will open up the listing for me on that page. Okay. Now let's go ahead and try to analyze certain errors for private property and P24. Again, you can hover your mouse over the X. It's telling me not set to feed to property 24. That means in the tick box for property 24, she's deselected it. If let's check private property. Private property requires a minimum of one photo. So if I go to the actual listing, let's have a look at the photo in there. So if I go into it and I go to edit listing and take me to the media gallery, no images. She's put all the images on the current floor plans, which is an error on her part. So she needs to delete all these images and come back to the top here and add it to this section. So she's made an error on that part, okay? Now let's go ahead and look at the next one here. Not set to feed, not set to feed, not set to feed. I think your guys' property 24 feed is actually quite good. So I see any problems here. Okay, so that makes a bit more sense. Invalid characters in description. So for private property, invalid characters in description. If I click on it, if I go to a description, she has no description. Right, so it's telling you what the problem is on the actual listing itself. So this is a good way to say exactly and how to fix the listing. So if you do fix a listing, fix it up, come back here and click on sync, and it'll sync the listing for you automatically. It'll try and push it through for you as well. Okay, so this is a good tool to use for you guys. Any questions on this tool? No. I just want to check anything else here. Maybe I can show you guys. I think your P24 feed is actually quite good, so everything's feeding through. It's not a problem. All right. Any questions before I move along?
Yes, I just have one question. If you've sold a property, how do you get that banner across the advert saying sold?
Okay, all you'll need to do is that when you go into your actual listing,
Yeah.
you will need to go to your listing, put a tick, edit is a website listing, which is quicker. And then under status, just change it to sold. Just change it to sold.
And will it have that banner on it, on
Yes,
the ad? For how long will it stay there?
well, let's see, right? Usually it's 7 days, but your system
Yeah.
may be configured differently. So let's have a look. So here we go. Number of days of sold listings are displayed on website for 7 days.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you
So
increase
for
it for longer?
yeah.
That down
You
arrow
can,
there.
yes. 14, 21, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. But this
Okay.
affects all the listings, okay? No
Okay.
problem. Same with
Thank you.
price reduced as well. Same with price reduced. So if you have a listing which is like 4 million and you reduce the price to 3.8, there will be a price reduced banner on it, and after 7 days the banner will get removed. Now if you do not want the banner at all on any of your listings, then you can ask Robin to set that to 0 days. Then that should be fine.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Right. Any more questions?
Rian, just to get back to the feeds log,
Yes.
you said you were going to skip that and go to the top tab. But when you look
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
your individual listing and you want
Yes.
to, you go to feeds, you want to activate it.
Yeah. You can do that from here as well.
But if it's been on for a while and you click on it, sync again, what actually happens?
What actually happens is now it pushes the actual listing to P24. So this one is set queue for processing at 10:48. I clicked on sync again, it pushed the listing up the queue.
So it's worth one's while to do that.
You can do that, which is much more quicker for you guys. But if you leave it as it is, the feed runs every half an hour to an hour. It'll feed through automatically.
Okay, I understand. Thanks.
All right. You do it the same for private property as well. So it's set queue for processing. If I click on sync again, it either say listing gone for manual moderation or gives me a reference number straight away. Have a look. Right, listing successfully sent for moderation. So what's happening here is that private property are going to moderate the listing, see what if there's any problem with it. If there's no problem, let's send us a backlog with the reference number on it. Okay. Any other questions?
Sorry, this, what you're talking about now, does this get sent out again to everybody on like private property and Prop24, the advert?
What? Yes, that's
The
correct.
people, okay, that's
Yeah,
fine, thanks.
it fits too. This is just for
Okay.
individual listings, and the other
Yeah,
one I showed you for everything else. But I feel that's quicker because if you have a look at all your listings at one go, and still sync from there as well. You can still sync.
okay.
Let's go back into that. So if I go to archive, just select that for now, because you can click on the sync button as well from here. It's going to show you guys. All right, because there is a sync button for property 24 here and for private property. So you can click on the sync button there as well. Yeah. It's the same thing.
Okay.
Any other questions? No. Okay. So I'm gonna have a look at you guys' website very quickly. I just want to check something. I don't have that. You got area profiles here. You got everything else here, which is fine. So check on the website. Do your guys actually add people to the mailing list? No.
Sorry, just run that
Do
again.
do you guys add people to this mailing list screen? Or you ever done this
No,
before?
I don't use it, no.
Okay, but basically you guys can also add people to the mailing list as well.
Yeah,
Like I said to you at the beginning, uh, on the last Sunday of every month, we can issue out a newsletter on your behalf. You'll have one featured property, four articles, four latest listings in the month, and your current latest articles. Now, whoever is on that mailing list for your branch will receive that newsletter. Okay, So it's always nice to add people to the mail should you have any.
Okay.
I'm not too sure whether you guys have permissions for this, but I'll speak to Robin about that. Okay. Um, that's more for Robin. That's alerts. I think what I should show you guys is the lead system here. I think this is one of the excuse me, one of the most important systems to use of the system. So, like I said to you at the beginning of this training session, if I go to your actual listing, let me just take any listing from here. If I fill out this inquiry form here and click on send, Leon will receive the email straight away saying that I came onto the website, viewed that listing, and here's my contact details. Once I do that, I will be added to the lead system here at the top. Now, just for an example, Leon phones me. I tell Leon, hi. Yes, I did send you inquiry. Is it possible you have listings in this area within this price range within so much? Leon said, yes, let me have a look for you and get back to you. So what Leon can do now, come back into the lead system here, go to leads, keyword search, type in my name, my lead will come up. You can thereafter put a tick on that specific lead and edit. When he does that, all the information that came through from the website will be displayed. You can feel free to update any of the fields, it's not a problem. But the thing of concern here that you guys should note is the property details here. Now, I said to you, I'm looking for residential for sale in this location. Now I can add more locations to this drop down. So I can select any location. I can choose that one, which is not a problem. So the amount of location is not limited. So I can enter as much as I want. Now those are the two required fields at the top. I don't need to fill in physical address, postal address, but if you want to, you can fill it in. If for some reason you need to add a lead onto the system, but you have not got the listing on your Propdata system, it's perfectly fine. You can click on add location here, put in the province, put in the area, put in the suburb, and that lead will be location will be added for you on your lead system. So when you have that listing ready, capture the listing and then come back to leads and just link it to this lead directly. Okay. Now I told you I'm looking for apartments, houses, duplexes, what have you, but I can select more than one. Doesn't really matter, or I can just choose all here at the top. It's not a problem. I can further refine what the client wants, but I don't need to. I'm looking for properties between that price range and that price range. You can feel free to edit this if you want to. Everything else below that is subjective, so you can fill this in should you want to. You can either subscribe into the mailing list yourself or to property email alerts as well. And then click on next step. If I do click on next step, then what happens to me now is that the system finds for me all the listings within that location, within that price range. Now, this is not a very good example. It's only one here. So let me just try and find something a bit more suitable. Um, let's take that, edit that, leave everything as is, and I'm going to next step. So now the system found for me all these listings that matched to everything here at the top. Now I can say, you know what? I want to take all the popular ones marked with hot. I want to take a bit of the warm and mild ones as well. And then maybe take a bit of the ones not so popular. Now the popular ones are described by the number of views and the number of inquiries you had on the actual listing. So I'm going to take a few from here. And then I can say, you know what? Let me email the matches to Rian. I click on that and say, hi Rian, as per discussion, I have these properties. Let me know if you're interested. CC yourself an email and send it. I will receive an email in a newsletter format with these six properties on it. Now that's a good way to give your other listings exposure. So imagine that I filled in one inquiry form, but now you're giving that person a bit more exposure to what you have and giving you an increased possibility of them buying something from you. Alternatively, if the guy's in the office sitting next to you, or even if you're going to see him, you'd rather just print the property matches PDF here at the bottom, property matches PDF. Now, if I open this here, it gives you much more for personalized feel as well. Shows your information here at the top. Let's make this bigger. And all the properties that you've selected. So it gives you a rundown on that. This is actually quite a good system to use. It's very good. I've noticed a lot of people make more sales on this. Our larger clients do use this. You can also make notes on your lead as well. So you can click on make notes here. You can say you phone the guy, fill in the details, add the notes. You'll discuss the show dates, fill in the details, add the notes. So it's quick and simple for you guys. You can also add notes from the actual lead itself. So if you, sorry, let me just go back to leads. So if you go back to leads, you can put a tick here and say make notes. And whatever notes you have currently will appear here. And again, you can make notes from here as well. It's not a problem. So you can see exactly what work you've done on that specific lead itself. Now, like I said to you, it's also nice to use if someone's in the office with you. Maybe you have a client. So you can just quickly add them as a lead here at the top. You'll put them status active. Lead type, the guy is a buyer. Lead source, the guy walked in. Put in your branch details, not a problem. Fill in la di da. Put in the contact details. Ask them while he's sitting with you what property he's looking for, which locations, what property types, within what price range, and then click on next step. And then the system will generate those matches for you. You can print that PDF and issue it to the guy. So it's quick, nice, and easy to use. Right. I'm sure you guys noticed some stuff here unassigned. I need to speak to Robin about that, but that's not a problem. If you need to archive a lead, just simply put a tick and click on archive here at the top. Okay. I think from a branch point of view, I'm not too sure if you guys have access to this, but under reports here, if you do click on reports, for example, I can select all my active listings, all lead types. Let's just do national chart for now. To all the
Hi,
users.
sorry, Rian.
Yes.
Hi. When we are updating the system with our notes, etc., is that visible to everybody on Propdata or just ourselves?
It should be just yourselves. If your permissions are set correctly on the system, there is an option where you can only view the leads where you are the assigned agent to the lead itself. Only you are able to view that lead and whatever notes on it. The only people who are able to view them as an entirety will probably be Robin and Billy Campbell himself.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
thanks.
No problem. Yeah, as I was saying, under reports here, I can select all my active, all lead types, specific branch, all my users. I can do this on a daily, monthly, or weekly basis. But I want to do it for the last month for April. Okay, so let's just see, and then I generate that report. What happens here now? It gives me a graphical view of exactly what's happening on your website. How many leads are coming to your website? How many through private property? How many are P24? I see you guys have a lot of leads from private property, and the next bit is P24. Which country, which provinces you're getting the most leads from? Which listing types for buyers? Residential for sale, some are for commercial, some are industrial, which provinces and which areas as well. So this is giving a breakdown exactly where you're getting the most leads from. So if you have a lot of leads in this area here and in Centurion, but you're only generating 7.93, then as an agency you should be speaking up, saying, you know what guys, we can market ourselves, give us much more exposure in those areas. So this is a good way to say exactly where you're getting the most work, most potential sales from. So I know Mr. Campbell uses this sometimes, and I think Robin uses it sometimes, and they can say exactly where leads are being generated from. And like I said to you, they can do this for a specific agent as well. All right. Any questions? No. Okay. Let's see what else I can show you guys. You can also export this. All of the information here is exportable to an Excel file as well. So if you have all your leads here, just simply click on export, select what you need to select, dates from. Instead of choosing all the fields separately, just click on all fields and generate the Excel report. And then all your leads will generate an Excel report with all the relevant information on it. Okay. Right. I think that's basically it for the system from an agent point of view. Any questions you guys have that you want me to go over again, or any other further questions?
we done, Leon?
Yeah, that's right.
Rian, can I ask a question?
Sure, you can.
In the upper highway area, we have
Yes.
certain suburbs like Waterfall, Winston Park, Kloof, Elveston, Summerveld. When we list them, how do we list them so when it calls up all suburbs, that it calls up all suburbs? Because sometimes if you list...
Thank you very much.
You're sending them calling us.
Like Kloof.
So there's no upper highway here. We're just taking Kloof. Right, so it only has 2 suburbs in here. What usually happens in this case, we recommend the guys clicking on add new here and then typing in the new suburb. So what happens is that when you type in a new suburb here and save the listing, that entry will be saved for you. So the next time you do not need to type it out. Type it out for yourself.
Okay, but then if you go to search on the website, okay, you'll type in upper highway. How do you get all the listings, like the Kloof, the Waterfall listings, to all come up under the upper highway search?
Now, is Kloof a suburb of upper highway? That's the thing.
Yes. Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
So, like I said to you before, let's do this, right? I'm not too sure. Let's type upper highway. Property 24, right? That's not it. Take that for example. So here's a property, upper highway Kloof, right? So let's see what the P24 have. So they have it as Kloof and Kloof. There's no areas upper highway. That's thick.
Okay.
Yeah, they map it as Skillets, so Kloof and Kloof. There's no area called upper highway, which is why when you try and do a listing and you go here, probably most likely you won't find it in here. Let's see that. There is no upper highway under P24. They don't recognize upper highway as an area. They recognize Kloof and Gillets and Hillcrest as the area. You see?
Okay. Is there any way we can?
I understand what you're saying. I understand carefully what you're saying. You can, for example, on our website, you can add upper highway. It's fine. It's not a problem. Add Kloof is not a problem. But the way you map it here is what P24 require you to map it as. That's the problem. What I suggest you guys do is map it the way P24 wants you to map it. And then what you can do is make a note in the marketing heading that the listing is in upper highway. So when someone visits the listing, they can see, you know what, guys, it's an upper highway. That's the only way I can suggest you guys do it.
Yeah, okay.
I've had this query before. Any other queries? Are you guys fine?
All good.
All good. Okay, no problem. Okay, anyways, but if you have any problems on the system, feel free to contact me or email me directly, or even if you can, here at the bottom red corner, just type in a new message, new conversation, put in your name, whoever, ask us anything, we will be able to help you on the system, okay? Straight away.
I also suggest that we need to upgrade our system to social media. Because to be honest with you, we find that we have more hits on social media than all the other property portals that our property is on.
Well, if you need to like optimize the way social media works, even optimize the way the website works, we have options where we have systems in place of services on our end where we can do website optimization on search facilities. We can do a much more in-depth social media kind of thing for you guys. But again, that needs to be discussed with Robin and Ann directly on our end. Yeah.
Okay.
That can be done. Yes. Any further questions?
I think we're done on our side. Rian, thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Anyways, guys, thanks very much. If
Yeah,
you have any
thank you,
problems,
Rian.
let me know. Thank you. Welcome. If you have any problems, let me know. I'll help you out further. All right.
Okay. Thank you very much, Rian.
No
Thanks,
problem.
Rian.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Okay.
Roman. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.